Right, welcome back for what you hope will be another review of a great Status Quo song, and then the random number generator gives us song 303, which if we consult our spreadsheet we can see is right in the heartland of the real wilderness years of the Quo, and we're with the Famous in the Last Century album and the song Mony. So this is definitely one of the lowest points in the band's career. Unlike in the late 60s and early 70s when they told their record company where to go and decided to just concentrate on the music they liked and just go for it and do that. At this point they meekly succumbed to the demands of record company or management. Any daft idea they came up with, the Quo just said, yeah, okay, we'll do that. As opposed to saying, we've got an audience, we're playing big gigs every year, we should be doing what we want and taking it to the music to the people and saying, this is some great new stuff we've got, we hope you like it. Instead they put out any old rubbish under the guise that somebody told them this is what we'll be able to sell. So we ended up with a Seconds Covers album, which doesn't have many redeeming features, particularly the cover looks pretty bad. Actually, I said no redeeming features, I quite like the CD with the kind of making it look like an old vinyl. And the first single from the album, and I quite like the fact that they made that look like an old vinyl as well, was Mony. It came with the full-length version of Famous in the Last Century, which I assume is what's been included on that recent compilation, Driving to Glory. Live Gerdon Nuala from the album launch gig. And then really dating the CD single, the fourth track is an enhanced CD-ROM video. So the first single from the band, and obviously the cover for that's not much better than the album cover, obviously. And actually, this was the first album cover to feature the whole band since the Ain't Complaining album. I don't know if that's what prompted Jeff Rich to leave, seeing his face on this album and knowing the contents. I think he pretty much jumped ship just as after the album was released. Or, in fact, I think I remember seeing appearances on TV promoting this single with someone else on drums, so I think he must have just done the Shepherd's Bush gig to launch the album and then thought that's enough of that. So as poor and bad as the album is, I would say Mony is one of the highlights, if that's not damning it with faint praise. I think the best bit is the Parfit's chunky guitar at the start. He's real chugging along even when he's not actually holding down a chord, he's just percussively strumming the strings. It's probably the best bit of the whole album. Of course, Mony is like a lot of these songs, it's an old rock and roll cover. By Tommy James and the Shondells, who's the only other song I know of theirs is the one Tiffany covered in the 80s. But the Quo version is the first version I ever heard of this. In fact, I only heard the original yesterday when I was prepping for this video, and I've heard the Billy Idol version previously as well. So Quo's version is the de facto version of Mony for me. The best version. But saying that is not a great achievement by the Quo actually to make it my favourite version of that song, because I don't think it's a brilliant song. As I said, the intro with Rick's percussive guitar strumming is the highlight. But I mean, it has energy. It's an energetic performance. I assume it would have been quite good live if they'd been playing it. I didn't actually go on to the Famous in the Last Century tour, so I don't know if they did. I suspect they didn't. But I don't know what I'm basing that on. I'm just assuming they didn't. It's up tempo and it has energy, but I mean that's about all. There's not a lot to the song. I think had this been like a B-side, like I think on one of the Influence singles they had Sea Cruise as a B-side. If had Mony been stuck in as a B-side like that, it might be just a nice little side addition to the catalogue, something to put on once in a blue moon, is something different to listen to. But yes, it's the lead single for an album of covers versions that it didn't really excite or get you motivated to go and listening to the album and thinking there's a great new product from the Co out. It was all a bit meh, a bit bland. So yeah, as I said, it's probably for me the best, maybe the best song on the album. Actually, I maybe actually like the actual title track, the one they actually wrote themselves, better. So it's maybe the second best song on the album. So it has enough energy and nice chunky guitar sound to give it the occasional listen. So it's not quite a skipper, which I assume most of the rest of the album will end up being in the skip category, but this one I'll put in the occasional listen. So that was Mony from the rather uninspired Famous in the Last Century album. And that was another episode of my random Status Quo song review. Hopefully there'll be another one next Wednesday. I realise I did miss last week's, but sometimes life just gets in the way of spending 15 minutes talking to the camera. Anyway, whenever the next episode is, hopefully I'll see you then.